What's going on, family? We're back again. It's been a minute,
It's
man.
been a while. It's been a while, man. Tell me about it, man. What you been up to, man?
There's been so much that's been happening. We're gonna have to kind of go through it all in this episode, bro. But it's good to be back and hear what you talking. You know what I mean? Just kind of expressing ourselves and talking about
Yes,
the wedding industry.
yes, man. Like you said, it's just been a lot going on.
Yes.
So many good things happening, man. So
Yeah.
many things to be blessed about.
Of
I'm just
course.
glad we had this time to get up,
Finally.
link up again, and just talk about the industry, man. Just digress everything that's been going on,
Of
celebrate
course.
wins, everything of that nature, man.
Of course.
But for those who are new here, man,
Yeah.
I'm Tristan B, lead videographer, Tristan B Visuals.
Hmm.
Wedding videography is my thing, and I'm with my guy, man. Let them know who you are.
Yes, sir. My name is Raji Rush. People just call me Raji. I used to go by a previous name, Native Lens. You might know me as Native Lens, but that name is no longer. So I made that name change recently, man, and things have been going pretty well with that too.
Hey, man. So let's talk about that,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
First of all, man, congrats on the name change, man.
Thank you.
I love what you did with the branding.
Yeah.
Kind of tell us, like, what made you come to that decision to rebrand yourself after so many years of building
Right.
Native Lens.
Yeah. Man, I have, it's been kind of an up and down thing for me, right?
Yeah.
So, as you know, Native Lens has been the first name that I picked when I started the photography business.
Yes.
And it's I've been riding with it for like 5 years.
Hmm.
But honestly, through mentorship, through just kind of really meditating on where I want my company to go, I felt like changing things to my name was necessary.
Hmm.
Really, just to kind of uh, 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 give me something a little bit more distinct, a
Yeah.
little bit more luxurious, if you will. A little bit more upscale, because that's the direction I want to go in. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, yeah, man. Like you said, I see the name change to your name.
Yeah,
The way you wrote it out was just magnificent to the
appreciate it,
T.
man.
My boy had a photo shoot, hopped in
Yeah,
front of the cam, did his
yeah,
thing, man.
finally.
Yes, sir, man. So I love that you changed it to your name
Yeah,
because I'm a big advocate about branding yourself.
of course.
I always kind of fluctuated between if I wanted to change my name to just a regular
Like
name
a
and not my
generic.
name, yeah, just
Yeah.
a generic name.
Hmm.
But I always ended up deciding on just keeping your name.
Yeah.
I felt like you said it was just a more luxurious thing. I felt,
Yeah.
and a lot of the people that I kind of looked up to,
Hmm.
I realized all of them branded themselves as their name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
If you look at a lot of places, man, a lot of companies, especially the higher end companies, it's off of someone's name: Tom Ford,
yeah.
Versace, so on and so forth. And I've gone through a few mentorships with other photographers as well. All of them make so much more money than I do, but the number one thing, the number one consensus across the board was, Raji, you need to change your name,
Yeah.
and you need to change your name to your name.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and I already, they're like, you already have a cool name, Raji Rush.
Exactly.
It's a conversational starter. It's different. People will remember that.
Mhm.
Once they actually learn how to pronounce it, people will remember it.
Yeah.
And I felt like, what, now's the time.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and make.
Yeah, yeah, man. Because again, I feel like brand identity is very important in this industry.
Yes. Yeah.
Because for our clients, they don't want to just feel like they just work with a crew of people.
Right.
It's a little bit more feeling when they feel like they actually worked with somebody.
Right.
Because like you said, we said this before, but people don't just book your business; they book people.
Yeah. They
So
book you.
exactly. So it's like
Mhm.
I feel like when you are branding yourself as your name, it feels a little bit more intimate to the
Right.
couple,
Right.
and it just makes it feel a little bit more welcoming.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a downside to it, though.
it's definitely a downside. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah. It's definitely a downside. So, and it happened to me this morning, bro.
Yeah.
So, we both kind of use associate shooters sometimes. Like
Yeah.
if we're double booked for something, or we want to offer that service to the new incoming couple, saying, "Hey, I'm booked on this wedding day,
Yeah.
but we do have associate shooters that could go out, shoot your wedding, and then we edit it,
Yeah.
right?" When it's your name, people
Exactly.
expect you.
You. Yeah.
So that's the hard part of it, right?
Yeah.
And it literally happened to me between last night and this morning, where I had a couple last night, spoke to them, they were ready to book, and a previous couple booked literally in the middle of the night
Wow.
while I was asleep. It was like early in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. and I haven't heard from them in a month. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking that's a dead lead, right? Or that's a couple that, no longer interested.
Yeah.
But they booked. They came back, hey, sorry for the delay. We're ready to book. Here's the deposit. So I had to go back to the couple I spoke with last night and say, hey, unfortunately, that date is no longer available. I know I just spoke with you, but things move quickly in
They
this
do.
industry,
They
man,
do.
And I said, hey, I can have an associate shooter come out. No, we're not interested. We wanted you.
Yeah.
So I think that's the downside, man. Like when you name something after yourself,
Yeah.
people expect you.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. Just like, just piggybacking off of that, I've had,
Yeah.
similar scenarios. They expect Tristan B. So if
Yeah.
I tell them Tristan B is not coming, they're a little down.
Right.
But I try to explain to them, our associate shooters, we have a lot of trust in.
Of
We
course.
wouldn't be sending them to their wedding if we didn't have
Amen.
the utmost, trust in their work. And
Mhm.
again, it's like we will be, handling all of the back end, all of the editing,
Yeah.
making sure that it still gets that Tristan B feel.
Of course.
But of course, most people do want you present there themselves.
Mm.
But we're blessed that we're booked and busy
Yeah.
sometimes. I wish it could be three of me, but we can't be everywhere
Yeah.
all the time. We
Yeah.
try our hardest to do so.
All right.
Even we do same day traveling.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how
Oof.
same day
Travel.
traveling can be
Yeah.
very stressful.
Yeah.
I try not to do same day traveling. But sometimes we have no other option.
Yeah.
We have to get up early that morning, get there, and shoot
Mhm.
on the same day.
Yeah.
This is not ideal. So for videographers, photographers out there, if you have the opportunity to get to your location a day before,
Yeah.
definitely do so.
Yeah.
But tell us about maybe like some stress you
Oh
had
man.
traveling.
So I'll be honest with you, bro. You by yourself in that same day traveling. That joke is crazy. So I do same day traveling for engagement sessions.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So typically for an engagement session, like for example, if it's later in the day, like
yeah,
usually it's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock, I'll come in mad early that
yeah,
morning to whatever state, and then shoot, and then leave the next day. For weddings, I typically try to get there the day before
yeah,
if I can. Sometimes I got back to back. Like I got a back to back coming up where I'm going to be in Minnesota, and
hmm,
then next day I got to go come back to Florida,
yeah,
which is I don't know why I did that to myself, but that's what it is. But yeah, so that happens though.
mhm,
Where sometimes you might have to come in the day of, or leave the next day.
yeah,
But usually I try to come in the day before.
yeah.
I want to go to the what do you call it? The wedding rehearsal.
Oh, facts.
You
Yeah,
know what I mean? I want to go to the wedding rehearsal. I want to meet the parents and meet the bridal party, so people kind of get familiar with me and
yeah,
who I am, and I can kind of get a sense of people's energy.
yeah.
So I have an
Facts.
expectation going into the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely the best route to take,
Yeah,
to
bro.
try to
You
get
be
there early. No, hey,
you be coming in,
I don't like
coming in
to do
hot.
it, but like you said, man, sometimes we just have a lot of back to
Nah,
backs.
true, true.
Like you said, so it leaves us no other option, man. I
Yeah.
definitely always try to get there a day before if possible.
Hmm.
But man, can you kind of just elaborate on like, I guess it kind of goes back to that brand identity, but
Yeah.
how is it, how does it feel knowing that you're getting booked not just in Florida anymore? You're like in every state or
Yeah.
destination weddings. It's just
Yeah.
like, it's a blessing, man. How did
It
you get to
is.
that level?
It is, man. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? I really love what I do. Um, and God has granted me the ability to do it in other places.
Yeah.
How it happened. I mean, it really is just the power of social media. I think
Hmm.
social media helps a lot.
Yep.
Because you can market to people outside of your state. There are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions of people looking at your content.
Yeah.
Whether they engage with it or not, they may look at it and save it or whatever. And I think that helps out a lot. So, I think my very first out of state wedding was Savannah, Georgia.
Nice.
Actually, with my peoples, Genesis and Brandon, they just had a baby. I did their
Congrats.
paternity session
Oh,
in
wow.
Louisiana, which
So
is
you've
crazy.
been with them. You've been
Yeah, I
with
was there with
them.
them, man. So I think it was like 2021, 2020, 2021. Um, and I don't know, it was like a domino effect from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where people saw me going to Savannah, and then I got a whole bunch of weddings in Savannah and Atlanta.
Yeah.
And then boom, I did a Mexico wedding, and then people say, okay, cool, he's traveling outside the country now.
Yeah.
And I think once people start seeing what you're doing,
Yep.
then it gives them the okay to hire you to do it for them as well.
Facts,
You know what I mean?
facts.
What about you? Was it something similar for you, or?
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely similar, man. I felt like, we kind of connected early on because I feel
Yeah.
like we were growing at the same
Yeah.
time, you know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? I often get asked, how do you get bookings out of state, out the country? I always say, you have to do the best you can where you're at first.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't just jump out trying to be this worldwide videographer if you are not doing the best you can in the city that you are.
Right.
I feel like we grew rapidly in our city. We made a name for ourselves in Orlando,
Yeah.
in the Central Florida area. Made a lot of good connections with other vendors here, and I think that was how I started to build. And then, referrals are still one of the best
Word of mouth,
keys.
bro.
Yeah, it's the best. And I
Yeah.
think, different vendors started referring me. And then, like you said, we started touching other states. North Carolina, that's where I'm originally from. So I
right.
always had, connections there. So they started bringing me back around North Carolina.
That's cool.
Then, we just started taking off, doing weddings to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, taking over the East
Yeah.
Coast, really
Yeah.
just doing, different weddings. And then, like you said, man, the power of social media is real.
Yeah.
What I love about, TikTok, Instagram is you have the power to reach people everywhere.
Yeah, bro.
And this goes to, any vendor. Like, you don't have to be closed-minded and think that you can only be accessible in your city.
Exactly.
If you see different networking events going on, you can connect, you can go to them. Like, you can reach outside of your city to grow.
Yeah.
And like you said, after you just start actually posting the work, people can see that. So
Exactly.
if they see the work they like, they'll book you anywhere. So
Yeah.
I
And
think,
you touched on networking, bro.
yeah,
That is so big. Like whenever I work a wedding in another state, I try to connect with the planner as well.
yeah, definitely.
And be like, hey, if you got another couple who's interested in hiring someone outside their state, let me know.
Yeah,
And those things are big, man. Those things are big. Putting your best foot forward all the time, as tiring as it can be,
It can be.
it's necessary.
Yeah.
It's necessary for growth. And that's if that's your plan. Some people are like, hey, I want to be a hometown hero, and that's perfectly fine.
yeah,
I think you should start out with that. Like you mentioned, we should start out being or thinking to ourselves, okay, cool. Let me focus on home first, and then see if travel's even in the picture.
yeah.
Because you may not like it.
Yeah.
People romanticize travel so much.
They do.
It's tiring.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
lot.
It's definitely
and
pros
you
and
lose
cons.
days.
You lose a lot of days just
Yeah.
for traveling.
Yeah, like so I'm coming in the day before and I'm leaving the next day. That's 3 days that I'm, not just wedding day, but 2 other days.
Yeah,
So I could have done another wedding,
yeah,
and I could have done an engagement session. There are things I could have done in those other 2 days. I could have did some editing.
yeah.
Spend time with family. So you're losing a lot of days. Now, granted, is it fun when you get there? Of course.
Yeah.
Because you're shooting in a different place and whatnot. But
Yeah.
it's not as like amazing as people sometimes think.
Yeah, like you said, I think a lot of, vendors think that, they have to have a destination wedding to be successful.
Nah.
And, that's not necessarily true. I know a lot of people that they don't like destination traveling at all. You have to think about it. Like you said, man, some of these places are 8-10 hour flights. It's a lot of baggage that you have to carry.
Yeah.
So it's a lot that goes into it. Again, there's a lot of pros to it, man. You
Of
get
course.
beautiful backdrop, beautiful scenery,
Yeah.
get to indulge in the culture, which is, something I definitely enjoy to do. But I do think it is important for, clients and also other vendors to understand what goes into it.
Exactly.
You definitely, have to consider the logistics, and that's just not just
You
flying.
might lose your bag.
Exactly. There's so many things
Flight
that can
delays.
go wrong. Yeah, man, and you have customs. They might want
Yeah.
to take your stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a lot that goes into it. I have a lot of crazy stories, but we'll say that for another day, man. But the good thing about destination weddings are we're able to travel the world, see different places, just with our camera.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, man. So that's always just a blessing, and it's hard to believe when I'm at some of these places.
Yeah.
Being that we've been somewhere everywhere, what would you say is one of your favorite locations?
DC,
DC.
hands down.
Nice.
Hands down. I love DC. If it wasn't so cold, I would like think about moving there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I love every time I've gone to DC, it's been cool. And granted, I know they have issues there at the moment. You know what I mean? But I really love the architecture there. I
Yeah.
love the scenery. I love just all the places you can go there to eat. Um, I really like the area, man. The
No.
cherry blossoms, you know what I mean?
Nah, yeah.
Everything's cool. Like I really like DC.
DC is definitely a good
Yeah. What
vibe,
about
man.
you?
Well, I think about this all the time, man. But honestly, if I was to move any other place, I couldn't think of nowhere. I love Florida.
Yeah.
I just love the beaches, the
Florida's
palm
cool.
trees. We
Yeah,
we
Florida's
have
cool.
we have definitely a lot of great venues. But if it comes to my favorite place that I've been, it had to be Italy.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I mean, we were both
yeah,
there,
we,
man.
we
Like,
both did that one,
yeah, yeah.
man. It was just an
I
amazing
mean, that's a
time.
no brainer. Like, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
thinking you're thinking like someplace we could actually potentially.
Okay, yeah,
No, I
yeah.
mean Italy's there,
Italy, yeah,
so that's
Italy's
off the board.
okay, yeah. So
What's
so
next?
outside of Italy,
What's next?
I would probably have to say, I really love my weddings in Cabo. I believe
Okay.
Cabo has some of the best resorts and
Yeah,
venues
yeah. Cabo's nice.
in the U.S. This one particular
I didn't know
venue,
we had stages. Overseas. You know what I mean?
we just everywhere. So you never
Greater
know. You never know where
America,
you might
South
be, man.
America.
I
Okay.
love this venue, the Legacy Castle in New Jersey.
Okay. I haven't
I've
been
had the
there.
opportunity to shoot there twice. I think that is probably one of my favorite locations.
Okay.
And if you have the time, it's just so many different areas that you can shoot in that venue.
Okay.
But sometimes wedding day you don't even get to use half
Oh
of what is
man,
there.
bro.
But it's an amazing venue for sure, man.
Yeah. Awesome, bro. Well, you kind of touched on something, man, as far as like timing.
Mhm.
So how do you feel about the way weddings have been structured lately? As far as timeline, do you feel like couples are trying to bombard their day with a whole bunch of events and things, or
Yeah.
like how do you feel about that?
Yeah, man, this is a great topic, man. I really feel like the timelines are just a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It's a lot trying to be done in that 8 to 10 hour time frame,
Yeah.
and I just don't think clients truly understand how fast a wedding day goes.
Yeah.
And as their vendors,
Yeah.
we want them to enjoy their day,
Yes.
but we have to still do our job as well. So, again, it's just like say a couple opts out of doing a first look. We have to then wait to do everything after the ceremony. But if the ceremony continues to get pushed back, that means that's less time for us to create.
Yep.
And I've been feeling like this for some weddings. Like, I'm not sure if you felt like this, but have you ever left a wedding and felt like, man, I could have did so much more?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. You touched on it, bro. Literally just had this conversation with a couple. I was on a final consultation with them.
Yeah.
And granted, what they wanted to do was great
Yeah.
if we had 2 days.
Yeah. Facts.
You know,
Facts.
everything they wanted to do on during the wedding day, and they only had me for 8 hours.
Yeah.
I would have had to be there for 12 hours.
Oof.
So that, just to get through everything,
Yeah.
that they wanted. And granted, I do my best to be empathetic because it's their wedding day.
Yeah.
And they want to experience all these different things. They want the people there to have a good time, and I get that. I'm with you on that. But we're restricted by time.
Yeah.
And like you said, time moves differently on wedding day, bro. I tell my couples like physics don't move right. You know what I'm saying, on wedding day, like what feels like 30 minutes is actually an hour, or like an hour feels like 30 minutes.
Facts.
2 hours feels like an hour. You know what I'm saying? 30 minutes feels like 15 minutes, and time will move so fast. And you'll look back at your wedding and be like, man, we barely even spoke to people.
Yep.
We barely even had time together as a couple. I think I can't say the source. I forget the source, but I do remember reading an article talking about how couples on average spend about 15 to 20% of the day together.
Yeah.
A day that's orchestrated to be about them and
Yep.
to celebrate their love. They're not even together,
Yeah, that's so true.
which is crazy, bro. I think that's crazy. So I remember reading that and I was like, man, and that's why we push first looks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We push extended cocktail hours. Granted, we understand there's a financial component to that because you may have to, purchase more time with the venue or with your vendors, whatever. But man, photographers, videographers, we're kind of the gatekeepers to people's memories, man.
That's so
You
true,
know,
man.
we hold the keys to people's memories.
Yeah, man.
You know, if you want us to capture things, we have to have a smooth timeline,
Hmm.
and or if you want a lot of stuff, we have to have the time to do those
We have to have
things.
the time.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
So, like you said, man, I wish we had 2 days.
bro? 2 days is fine.
Yeah, I was reading this post from one photographer, man, and he pretty much said it's mandatory to do a first look. He
Mm,
pretty much said I can't do the wedding if I'm not able to do a first look because I need the time to create.
yeah,
Now me, I
yeah.
don't.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I
But that's
wouldn't.
I
I
understand.
understand it.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
understand.
like I wouldn't, put that mandatory clause on my clients,
Yeah,
but it's something I do try to push. But
yeah, me
if,
too.
if they're not, happy or they don't want to do that, I push
That's
back.
fine.
I let them do, what's best for them.
Yeah,
But timing is just important. It's like we can't beat time,
yeah.
and again, I just feel like without that time, it's just hard to create what they are expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about expectations, have you felt like expectations for weddings have went through the roof?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, social media is with all the good things that happen with social media.
Yeah,
I think it has definitely, it's definitely shown a unrealistic viewpoint of what a wedding should be.
exactly.
Right? We're bombarded with all these celebrity weddings or people
Mm-hmm.
that have a whole bunch of money to do the
Mm-hmm.
things, to do these amazing things.
Yep.
So people who may not have the means to do those things want to imitate that.
Exactly.
And it's like, you don't have to imitate that. You
Yeah.
can still have a beautiful wedding
Mm-hmm.
and not have a mariachi band come in, or the dancers on stilts and fireworks in the end. And
Facts.
you can still have, I've done some beautiful intimate weddings
Mm-hmm.
with only 50 people, and gotten some great photos and captured some great moments. So yeah, man, I don't know. You know me, bro. I'll tell you how it is. Like, I do my best to put pillows under my words when I talk to my couples.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for them, I just have such a heart for them,
Yeah.
and I want them to have a realistic understanding of what a wedding looks like.
Yeah.
And if I feel that they're adding too much to their wedding day, I'm gonna tell them, like, hey man, this is a lot.
Yeah.
I'll do my very best to capture everything,
Yeah.
but you may feel you may not, how do I want to say this? You may not feel as fulfilled as you think you will at the
True.
end of the day
Yeah, it's true.
because you're packing your day with so much,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I tell people all the time, like, listen, man, we can be optimistic about it, but this is the realistic
Yeah.
side to things.
Yeah, same, man. Like you said, during my
I'm not as nice as Tristan. Tristan is super nice, bro.
No, I'm trying to work on my firmness like
Yeah.
you, man. You're very firm with the clients, and I love it.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're just being realistic with them, and
Yeah.
they need that. And not saying I'm not realistic with them, but I had the same problems though, man. During consultations, I'll have brides just saying they want to do so much. They
Yeah.
want to send me different videos that they want to implement. And again, it just goes back to telling them like, this is a lot to do in the time frame that you have,
Right.
but we'll do our best to do what we can.
Of course.
Hmm.
course.
And then with the social media, it's a gift and a curse. I think it does more good than bad.
Yes.
But the bad just feels like
it's
it just
heavy.
hits a little bit more.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah,
It's
man.
heavy-handed.
So even with my brides and grooms these days, man, I always try to remember to tell them like, hey, I am creating for the memories,
Yeah.
not the content.
Not the
A
content.
lot of people these days are getting caught up in the content and I want to do
Right.
these trends, I want to do this and that, and I always have to tell myself to remember like, hey, we're creating to tell that story. The
Yeah.
content stuff is cool,
Yeah.
but just remember why you're really here, so that
Right.
you're making that impact and preserving those memories, because
Yeah.
the content is it's just taking over. I did a wedding recently, and the bride literally just wanted to make TikToks the whole time.
Reels. Yeah.
And I'm like, if that's what you want to do, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
However you did, pay for me to come and create a film for you. So, I just want to make sure that I'm delivering what you're expecting.
That's good. That's good, Tris. Yeah. Yeah, man. So as you were talking, okay. Yeah. As you were talking, right? I'm like, yes, I agree. I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for a little bit.
All right.
So I'm with you. Like Raji is with you as far as we're here to document your memories, to create these moments, or to document these moments so that you can live. You have something to remember your day by, right?
Yeah.
And the TikTok videos, because that's happened to me a few times now, where I had to stop working because she wanted to do, or the guy, even sometimes the groom
Yeah. Yeah.
wants to do
Mhm.
TikTok videos, and I'm like, cool, like I can't work in these moments,
Yeah.
right? But then it's like, well, these videos may also be memories for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. For
That's a
sure.
weird. I know it's a weird take.
Yeah. No, it's not weird.
You know, I think it's inconvenient for us as photo video people
Yeah.
who, I guess, have the more traditional route
Mhm.
of documentation. And granted, we all know TikTok videos are here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
We know that.
Yeah.
But it could also be something that
For
the people
sure.
look back on
For sure.
and be like, "Oh, look at this dumb thing that we
Yeah. Like you said, like it's a
this
fun
little
moment.
fun thing that
Yeah.
we had,
Hmm.
and it was cool then." And
Yeah.
I
And
don't know, man. I go back and forth on that.
no, yeah, and let me
You
change
know
my
what I'm
words
saying? You
because
know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
feel like content creation is bad, but I
Yeah.
mean more so for me. Like I have to go into the wedding
Got you.
day making sure that I don't get caught up in just shooting content for them
I
and
got you.
make
I
sure
got
that
you.
I'm telling their
Yeah,
story
yeah, yeah.
correctly
I got you.
because it's been times
Oh yeah,
where
let's talk about that.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
been times, where I'm doing content for them or I'm doing a whole bunch of TikToks.
Oh, you're the one doing the TikTok. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
got you,
It's
got you,
like,
got you,
yeah,
got you,
so
got
it's
you.
like they want me to do TikToks for
Got
them
you,
and
got
things
you,
like
got
that.
you.
So it's like, all right, let me get back refocused.
Right.
And
That's a good point. That's a good
yeah,
point.
like you said, and even with content for vendors, like
Yeah,
everybody's doing content these
bro.
days. So let's talk about that, man. This is a hot take, but do you think doing your personal content on a couple's wedding day is appropriate, or maybe that's not the correct word?
Mm.
Do you think doing your own content on a wedding
I
day
mean,
is right?
appropriate is a good word.
It's a good word.
Yeah, is it appropriate, man? Okay, there's level. There's like we got to dissect it. We got to
Yeah, let's
unpack it.
unpack
We got to
it.
unpack it a little bit, right? So, is it appropriate? It depends on the perspective,
Facts.
right? I'll speak from my perspective.
Yeah.
So I can only speak for me, right? So there's two things. One, um, I am of the cloth that believes that weddings are sacred.
Mhm.
They're holy. They're beautiful. Um, they should be taken seriously,
Yeah.
obviously, right? And my job is to document the moment, right? And I'm in service of the couple.
Yeah.
I'm there. I serve them. And then there's the other side to the story, whereas I'm running a business,
Yeah.
right? And I must be aware of how to properly market myself, how to keep myself afloat,
Hmm.
you know, how to stay in the black and not in the red,
Yeah.
how to provide for my family,
Facts.
right? And I have to take a look at how things are moving today.
Yeah.
Social media is king, bro.
It is.
TikTok, Instagram, AI, Chat GPT, like anything social.
Yeah.
All when I say social media that is social, right? Like
Yeah.
anything that's outward facing and fast moving, right? So when I think about that, people want to see how you work.
Hmm.
They want to see what you're doing. They want to see who you're shooting. They want to see where you're going. Naturally, I'm a very private guy,
Yeah.
so for me, that's very difficult
Yeah.
to be that open. I do try to do my little stories on Instagram and whatnot and TikTok, but that gets like sometimes I go to a wedding and I'm halfway through. I'm like, man, I haven't taken a video yet. I haven't got like a little
Took
phone
phone video.
BTS thing
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all. And I just be like, this is gonna be a wedding I don't get content for.
Yeah.
And then I kick myself in the butt afterwards. I'm like, man, I have nothing to share.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it is hard, man, to balance both sides, bro. The idea of I want to honor my couple
Yeah.
and I want content to elevate my business.
Exactly.
How do you what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, pretty much the same, man. Like you said, I get it as a professional. You want to show your clients, your future clients, how you work.
Yeah.
Other, vendors that, are studying you, they want to see how you move, how you
Right.
direct,
Right.
things of that nature. And the people that produce these BTS videos for their weddings, I love them. They
Yeah.
look great.
They're great.
They're amazing. But the person in me just doesn't feel right about,
Yeah.
conducting my own BTS at someone's wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want a camera on me at somebody else's wedding. I just feel like I'm taking away from the moment.
Right.
Again, this is no shade to the people that do it, because it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I like seeing those BTS videos, but just me as a person, it just doesn't feel right. But I definitely do, the BTS on my phone. I
Yeah.
grab some things like that. But I totally get it again. So it's like, I
Yeah,
get
man.
it. But morally, it just doesn't feel right to,
Yeah.
take that moment. I feel like I'm taking away from somebody's moment, even though they
Yeah.
may not look at it that way.
Right.
It's just in me that, I would feel that way.
Yeah, I've never had a couple that will say, "Hey, don't take any video or whatever."
Yeah.
Yeah, I never had a couple that's done that before, said that before. I think because they understand,
Yeah.
hey, he needs content as well for his business.
Hmm.
But man, as it gets tiring after a while, right? Because now it's like you're just feeding the machine, and the
Yep.
machine is constantly hungry, and
Yep.
it's never satiated. It's like every time I do this, every time I go to a wedding, I gotta think about not just servicing and honoring the couple.
Yeah.
I gotta think about, oh, I gotta get this content too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
And
and it's tough, bro.
yeah, I feel like a lot of photographers or videographers are having that problem. It's like,
Yeah.
it's no longer about the work. It seems like it's more
Mm,
about the social presence and the
yeah.
markability.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of vendors that are great, but they just can't get with the social media. They can't get their social presence going, but their
Yeah.
work is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, social media is a gift and a curse.
It
Some
is,
people, they have social media down pat. They may not be the actual best or have the best
bro.
skills,
Yeah.
but they have learned and are successful with social media.
100%.
So how you feel about that, man?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. I know it. I know it works both ways, right? I've seen people. I know people who don't have a lot of followers,
Yeah.
but they do very well
Yeah.
business wise,
Yeah.
and they're extremely talented.
Hmm.
And then I know people with a whole bunch of followers,
Hmm.
not so talented, but they do well because they're putting themselves out there and they're very active and
Yeah.
they're getting a lot of eyes on them. So it really is bro. It's such an interesting landscape now, bro, when it comes to marketing, social media, that type of thing, because you don't know where on the totem pole you're going to fall,
Yeah.
or what side you're going to fall on.
Yeah.
Will I be the super? Sorry, my nose is stuffy, Brian. But
You
what's going on?
good?
Will I be the super successful um, creative, right, or photographer, videographer that doesn't need social media?
Yeah.
Because there are people who are getting great traction through word of mouth
Yeah.
or through their, maybe they have planners that they're really connected with,
Hmm.
and they're getting a bulk of their inquiries and couples through the planner.
Yeah.
There are people who do that, and
Hmm.
they don't really need to rely on social media.
Nah.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
And that's an amazing way to do it. But then you have people that solely rely on social media,
Hmm.
and like looking at my numbers, I'm about 50-50.
Hmm.
Well, more like 55-45,
Okay.
so it is a good majority of people that I get from social media.
Yeah.
So I can't ignore it.
Yeah. You can't.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you like, have you seen like your numbers
Yeah,
as far
yeah, I'm
as
looking at my
inquiries and
numbers
stuff?
too. Yeah, I mean, social media is like 70% for me,
Ooh-wee.
and
Yeah, that's a lot.
honestly, I feel like I'm not like a social media influencer. I just
Yeah.
post a lot of my work. Like, I never
But you
wanted to
got you got the
be.
you got the videos though, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
know the
saying?
videos and photos are different. We're gonna talk about that
Oh
too,
my
man. But
goodness
like,
gracious.
yeah, it's just like, I never wanted to be like an influencer. I just wanted to be myself,
Yeah.
showcase my work.
Yeah.
Maybe do some talking videos here and there. But social media, like you said, I'm more of a private person as well.
Yeah.
But people do enjoy when I open up a little bit, and share other stuff, or just talk some camera knowledge or things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to do content days myself when I'm at a studio just talking, and people really love those videos.
That's
But
good.
outside of that, man, you can't ignore social media. That goes back to the
Yeah,
content.
can't.
We
Yeah.
have to get that content here and there. But word of mouth is still the king too.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
just referrals really help me out. But
That's how I get a lot of my out of state weddings too.
yeah, exactly, man.
Referrals.
But one thing I do want to touch on, man, have you like, have you felt that some planners have a team and they don't want to let anybody else in?
Yeah, man. I'm not gonna name no names.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, man, it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting, man. Obviously, I think a lot of us are trying to enter into that more premium space,
Yeah.
and the further up you go, the more you realize there's a lot of, to put it lightly, like workplace nepotism, if you will.
Yeah.
And I don't mean nepotism in like the specific standpoint of like family, but more so you've built your industry family,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then that's who you hire,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yep.
And I get it.
I
Like
get it.
I'm not fully mad at it,
Mhm.
because like I love working with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone says, "Hey, I need a videographer," one of the first people that come to mind is you.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it.
And I have like a list of people. Everyone has a list of people that they like to work with.
Yeah.
So let's be real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be real. I know
Yeah.
I know we're all inclusive and all. Let's be real. There's a few people that we loved working with, and if someone asks you for a referral for a specific type of vendor, would it be florist, makeup artist, hairstylist, planner, you have people in mind that you're gonna
Yeah.
recommend.
Facts.
So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I think the only thing is though is that my biggest gripe is when the couple is open to
Yeah.
looking outside of the, let's say, the planner's
Preferred
core
list.
core group,
Yeah.
and then the planner restricts them.
Yes.
That's my, and I've heard of these issues
That's
before.
more so what
Yeah.
I'm barking at. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
I've seen that happen.
Yeah, because like you said, man, I totally get it. Everybody enjoys working with their core group.
Yeah.
But the higher end clients, that premier clientele that we're trying to get into is definitely more difficult to get into because of that reason. And like you said, the planners, they just have their people, and sometimes they just want to go straight with their people.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're letting some of their clients down by not letting them explore different options and different, different styles. I feel like sometimes a lot of these weddings are starting to look the same.
Bro.
Everything feels the same. Everything looks the same. Everything shot the same because it's the same group of people.
Yeah.
But again, man, for vendors like us, we're gonna just keep doing what we're doing. Our clients are gonna come to us. The big ones will come when they need to come. And I don't get too deep into it. I get it. Is it frustrating sometimes? It is, because I've had that same situation happen.
Yeah.
The client reached out to me, but their planner's like, "Oh, we want to go with our people."
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I even put some pressure on like publications and the wedding magazines publications, because they push that certain look, or a certain look.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they do a great job at sharing things that are a little bit more or a little different than the norm. We always talk about diversity here. And it's like, well, there should be a level of diversity in how weddings can be shot, both from a photo and video standpoint.
Yeah.
Like one videographer that comes to mind is Fiore Films.
Oh yeah.
And her style is so different, bro, from everything else that I see, but it's that level of diversity. Like if we look at her and then we go to maybe KEJ and and then we even go to you. Like you guys have all three different styles, and I think a great thing to do for a couple is to like present
multiple styles.
Yeah, multiple different things, and be like, hey, look at these different ones. Which ones do you really jive with? You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest thing, man. Like, but when you're just like when everyone's you're pushing forward, like you said, starts to look the same, and the videos are the same, and the cuts are the same.
We can be honest, man. A lot of stuff is looking the same these days.
The same, bro.
Photo and video wise, man.
I try to turn away from that stuff.
Yeah, man. Like you said, sometimes I just stay off social media just so I don't get
True.
So I don't want my work to start looking the same. I try to stay refreshed, but it's tough, man. And
I go out the country, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, like I so a lot of times I don't even look at photographers within my country.
Yeah.
I'm looking at like European photographers, African photographers. I'm looking at Russian
Yeah.
photographers, Spaniard photographers to see what they're doing over there
Hmm.
because their style is a lot different.
Yeah,
You know
so
what I'm
true,
saying?
bro. Because I was gonna ask you that. I was like, being that we do a lot of weddings, man. How do you stay creative? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, if you look at, bro, you go on my Instagram right now. Street photography is really big.
mhm,
You know, I love street photography. I love architectural photography. Um, you know, and then like I said, if I do look at weddings, I'm looking at photographers from other countries.
mhm.
You know, just to kind of keep myself fluid, if you will, or
Yeah,
inspired.
yeah,
You know, because there's
inspired.
a fine line between inspiration and jealousy.
Yeah, yeah,
You
facts.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you know, I went through that before. Like I went through that moment where I would look at photographers like, dang, my work doesn't look like theirs.
yeah,
And if I feel that way, I either unfollow that person or I mute them.
yeah.
You know, because I don't want to feel that way.
Hmm.
I want to feel inspired.
Not true,
You
man.
know,
And I totally agree with you on that too. It's like you want to stay inspired, and also you want to stay inspired, and you don't want to just straight copy.
right,
I think a
right,
lot of people are inspired by people's work, and it's
hmm
just a straight copy paste.
yeah,
It's like I'm gonna do exactly what he did,
yeah,
and it's like it might not work for you the same way, or it's no creativity. I feel like I see a lot of lack of creativity in the wedding industry now.
bro.
If I'm being honest,
Jesus
man, like you said,
goodness.
it's like a lot of people do great work. So,
Yeah,
standing out has become a
it's
little
just
bit more
harder.
difficult to
Yeah,
do. You just have to, find your niche. And like you said, you want to see different trends, but you still want to stay true to yourself.
yeah,
And that's something big for me. It's like, oh yeah, I can try all these different things, but I still want my films to feel like it's a Tristan B film. Like they can look at it and say, oh, I know who did that.
yeah,
Like you said, keeping the trends and doing all these different things is nice. Like you said, it keeps it innovative and fresh,
hmm
but people have to still have a distinct, uh
distinct.
distinct, yeah, they
Hmm
have to still have a distinct, presence about their
Yeah.
work. Mhm.
Yeah, man. I mean, call me an old fart, bro, but I remember, you know, I grew up in the 90s, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And you had to have your own style with certain things. Like I'm
yeah,
thinking about music wise, right?
yeah,
You had your West Coast, your East Coast, your Atlanta South style. You
yeah,
had your Texas style. You had your Midwest. Like you had all these different styles, you know. And like you said, everyone, you know, now musically everyone's sound the same,
yep,
and photography, videography is very similar. And for some reason, we stopped wanting true diversity within, like, stylistically, right?
yeah,
We stopped wanting true diversity, or we stopped wanting true creativity. You
hmm,
know, let me look like this person because this person is successful.
yep,
And it's like, well, you could be successful doing something else too, you know.
hmm.
And I'm so hard headed, bro. When I saw that, I'm like, I gotta go the other way.
Yeah,
You know, like for photography, it's like editing, right?
yeah, hmm,
You know, there's a one distinct kind of look to certain edits that I noticed, especially within like the black photographer group.
yeah,
And I'm like, I don't want my photos to look like that
yeah,
because it's gonna just fall right into
yeah,
the same old same old. So I literally changed my editing.
yeah,
You know, the way that I edit photos,
yeah, man.
poses, same thing. The lighting, composition. I'm seeing the same type of things over and over. I'm like, well, I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Like you said, I've been scrolling Instagram, and like you said, every photo they all look good, but it's just
yeah, it
all
looked great.
yeah, it's just all looking the
It
same.
looks the same.
So
I,
like you said, man, it's
yeah,
good to sometimes look at those European photographers, those African photographers that try to get new ways of doing
new
things,
ways of doing
because
something.
I definitely feel that it's an influx of the same
The
thing going
same
out right now.
over and over again,
But
bro.
how do you feel about trends? Are you one that likes to copy trends, or not really so much?
I don't copy trends, bro.
I'm with you, bro.
So yeah, I don't copy trends.
Yeah, leave it at that,
Yeah, yeah. I
man.
mean, okay, if it's cool,
Yeah,
well, I guess it's subjective, right? If I think it's cool,
yeah,
I might do a little something with it. But you know, sometimes brides, and I'm sure you get this too, they give you like inspo.
yeah,
And I say, hey, I'll take your inspo. Just understand that I may have a different artistic perspective on that inspiration that you're sending me.
yeah, yeah,
You're hiring me because of the work that you see. 99% of the work you see was not directly inspired. Like there may have been, indirect inspirations,
yeah,
something that subconsciously flows through me because I've seen it elsewhere, and like I see that something similar in front of me, and so I shoot it. So they're like indirect inspirations, but very rarely have I looked at a photo, looked at my couple, and then be like, I'm gonna do this.
Exact same. Yeah.
Very rarely have I done that.
Yeah.
And everything I show on my website, my portfolio, on Instagram, 99% of it is just straight off the top of the
Straight off the
dome.
top.
You know?
Yeah. Like you said, people ask often, like, hey, do you go in with a shot list for a wedding day? Absolutely not. I mean, of course, the certain things that you have to capture,
Yeah.
but when it comes to like creativity and poses, that's something I fill out when I get there.
Yeah.
And I've never been a fan when a client's like, hey, can you do the video just like this? It's just like you said, going back to music, you can't
Boxing
just
me
come
in,
to
man.
you can't just go to a music artist and say, make this song just like this song.
Right.
It's just like a copy and repeat thing. It's like, it's no creativity.
That's what we're doing now.
That's what we do. That's what it seems like, man. And it's like, we always have to tell our clients, like, hey, you booked this because you saw our work.
Yeah.
And this is our style of work. Now you're trying to change our whole style to be someone else's. So
Yeah.
maybe it may be best if you go with that person. And I
And I've
guess,
said that. Have you said it before?
yeah, I've said that before.
Okay.
And go
Like you
back-
told a couple that before?
I told a couple that.
Yeah, me
And like you said, back to devil's advocate, I get it. Sometimes I feel like a couple is challenging you a little bit. And it's okay to, like I said, implement new things.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But when you're trying to change the whole narrative of the film or how I shoot, that's when I have to say, like, hey, that's not what I do.
Right.
If you want to take that approach to your film, then maybe you should go with another vendor.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had to say that a couple times, bro. And not so much recently,
Yeah.
but just more so probably like last couple of years, where I've had to just tell people, like, hey, I don't know if I'm the best photographer for you.
Yeah.
Like I distinctly remember one bride. She was like, she showed me this photographer. She literally just sent me his page.
Yeah.
And his stuff. The granted, I love wide shots, but a lot of his stuff was very, very wide, very landscapish type things. Like they call them there's this. Well, they don't shoot weddings anymore. They used to. It's called 2-man group, but they call it a big world, small people kind of vibes. And the shots were great.
Yeah.
And would I take a shot like that? Yeah. Is that my style overall? No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, why don't you just reach out to this person?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it seems like you can do it. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's me, though.
Exactly.
And, yeah, I think it's important, bro, that as photo video people, we should become more comfortable educating our couples.
Yeah.
Because ultimately we do have a heart for them.
We do.
And we want you to have the photos and the videos that you desire. It just may not be with us.
Yeah. Facts.
And that's okay.
That's okay. Yeah, man. Like recently, I feel like I have found my niche of clientele.
Yeah, it's definitely funneling in.
And I feel good. I feel like I see myself in a lot of my clients. I have a lot of the young, successful millennials, young doctors, nurses, lawyers. So, I feel good with the clients that, have been reaching out and, that I've been having the opportunity to capture. So that makes me happy. I know in this industry, it's like people are always wanting more, more, and more. What does success mean to you now? Has it changed?
What does success mean to me now?
Because in my eyes, you're successful right now.
Yeah.
But I already know we still want more and more and more.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you. The older I get, the more I learn to be content.
Yeah.
As long as my kids are good, my wife's good, I'm good.
Hey.
We were just talking about cars, right? Like, I want a new car. I want a new car, but my current car is paid off. It's fine. Nothing breaks. It's never broken down on me in the last 8 years I've had that car.
Yeah.
Never broke down on me. Basic maintenance.
Yeah.
Changed the oil. I think just recently I had to do some major stuff but it's wear and tear, regular wear and tear, like the lower control arms. You know what I'm saying? You gotta change a few things here and there.
Yeah.
Change the brakes. Normal stuff though. Right? It's a perfectly fine car.
Yeah.
Great gas mileage. And I'm like, but it don't look that great. You know what I mean? I want a car that looks dope. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I want a car that's profiling and styling is what my dad would say. But, and I started thinking, okay, well, it's paid off. I'm saving five, six, $700 a month. My insurance is low. My car insurance is low. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm really learning content, bro. And granted, yes, would I like to have more premium clients?
Yeah.
Of course. And
Yeah.
that's the desire. But honestly, that's the desire because then I can work less
Facts.
and
Yeah.
then I can spend more time with family.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there's even in that, the end goal is more time with family.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's the end goal.
Yeah.
Not because not just like if I can make the same amount of money and work less,
Yeah.
I'll be okay
You'll
with
be
that.
happy. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'll
I
be okay with
totally
that.
agree, man. Like you said, I think that, like you said, people like ourselves, we're always wanting more because,
Mhm.
we're go getters. We want to reach the
Yeah.
top. But again, I'm just learning to be content as well, man,
Yeah.
because a year ago I was dreaming to be where I'm at now. So
Facts.
I'm learning to embrace the journey and the moment.
Facts, bro.
Sometimes I gotta just sit back and pat myself on the back if
Yeah.
nobody else does it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we've came a long way, man. And
Yeah. Dang, when I meet you?
we met in like around COVID.
To like 2021, something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
So
bro.
just to
A
see the
lot has
growth, that's what I'm
changed.
saying, man. Just to see the growth, where we come from, man.
Yeah,
We've
that's
we've done a
facts.
lot, man. So
Yeah, well,
again.
where we come from.
Yeah, exactly, man. So,
Yeah.
like you said, it's like, of course, I want to continue to reach,
Yeah.
higher end clients, but I've learned to be happy where I'm at,
Yeah.
and just make the most of what I'm doing at this time.
Most
Of
definitely.
course, like you said, man, as long as my family's taken care of, we
Mm.
have a house, cars, we get to see the
Yeah, I
world.
got two cars.
Exactly, man.
I mean, that's
So
first world problems. You know what I'm
you know
saying?
what I mean?
Like,
Yeah. So it's like, I think everybody should just enjoy their journey.
of course.
Enjoy the moment. Everybody just wants to climb to the top, but you got
Yeah.
to enjoy that journey to the top. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm kind of in right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm with you, dude. I feel like it's necessary to remember where you came from, gratitude.
Yeah. Gratitude.
Having a spirit of gratitude is so important. For me, I want to make sure that stays top of mind. It doesn't always.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to say and fall on that sword. Sometimes I do feel like, man, I deserve this. I deserve
Yeah.
that. I put in the time and work to get there, and it's
Yeah.
like, hold your horses, bro.
Hmm.
There are, and I'm sure you see it too. There are videographers who are looking at you, and it's like, oh man, he's
Yeah.
up here, and while I'm sure you're feeling like
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still at the bottom,
Yeah.
or relatively, you know what I'm
Yeah, I know
saying?
exactly what you
Yeah,
mean.
and like the fact that I still have like I'll have photographers reach out to me. Oh man, do you do mentorships? Da da da. And I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to make it myself. Like I'm still, there's things
Yeah.
I still have to work on,
Hmm.
as a person, as a photographer, as a business owner. So those are always eye-opening moments for me.
Yeah.
That there's number one, there's always someone watching,
Facts.
and there's always someone that you can pour into.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Let me be grateful for where I am,
Hmm.
because, like you said, even just last year,
Yep.
definitely from 2021, 2020,
Yeah.
we're both leaps and bounds
Exactly,
where we
man.
used to be, bro. I mean, the fact that we're just traveling so much,
Yeah, bro, it's a
eh,
blessing,
bro,
man.
it's crazy.
So with all that's been happening in the industry,
Yeah,
I have one question for you,
yeah,
man. Do you still love it?
yeah, man. No, yeah, I really do. I really do. I say that, I don't want to speak too quick. Yes, I still love it. Like when I'm in the moment, you get into that flow state. You're seeing everything, bro. Like
Yeah.
the lighting is great, the place is beautiful. You're seeing all the dope compositions. You're just flowing. The couple is flowing with
Yeah.
you. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? You're working with some great other vendors.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's nothing like it, bro. There's
Facts.
nothing like it. And then it's like when the best feelings when you go home, it's like I got some
That's the
heat.
best feeling right there.
When you go home knowing that you got some heat,
Yes, sir.
it's like, yeah, I know I killed this one.
Nah, yeah, man, that's a
And
great feeling.
those are moments I really look forward to. Even the ones, bro, I'll be honest with you, even the ones where it's like smaller, intimate weddings, but the couple's dope,
Yeah.
you know. I still have a love for those too, because at the end of the day, love wins, man.
Yeah.
You know, really being able to document two people and their journey is really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's a privilege.
No, I agree, man. What they say, man? When you done, when I'm done having fun with it, I'll be done with it. So but right now I'm still
Yeah,
having fun, man.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I still feel young, even though I'm
Say it
getting.
again. What was it?
When I'm done having fun with it, I'll be done with
That's
it.
cool. I
Yeah,
gotta use
man.
that
So
one.
I'm still enjoying weddings, man. It's an amazing, like you said, it's an amazing day to be a part of.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not necessarily the actual work or the film. It's just having fun with them on their
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Like I'm out there having fun on the dance floor with the
Yeah. The
couple,
day
with
of
the
is
with the
fun.
guests, just making sure everybody has fun, and just those small moments, like you said. I love
Yeah.
just seeing everybody happy,
Yeah.
all the family and friends enjoying their time. And like I tell my wife all the time, it's like I don't feel like I'm missing out like on the
Mm,
weekends or going out because I'm having so much fun at these
yeah.
weddings. I'm
Yeah.
conversing, I'm meeting people. Of course, we still want time with our family,
Of
but
course.
I'm just saying that in the aspect like I don't feel like I don't get to do anything
Right. Right.
because I'm still having a good time at these weddings, and I try to make sure that my couples have a good time
Exactly.
while I'm working with them as well.
Exactly. Nah, fully agree, man. Fully agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You wanna wrap this thing up?
Yeah, yeah, man. So, hey, man. Hopefully, it doesn't take us so long to link up and just
Yes.
talk again. But it was a great time chopping it up with you,
Of
man. I
course.
know you have a lot of beautiful weddings on your calendar.
Same.
So safe travels to you.
Same to you.
Yes, sir. And man, we'll be back soon, man.
Yeah.
This is Tristan B,
Yeah. My name is Raji Rush.
and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Yes, sir.
How do we do? How do we do?
I
Yeah.
got so into it, I forgot to let you know.
I know I was kind of